Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Spot Convention with the Witty Comic Book Roundup. We've covered this week's X-Men books as well as a couple others. Now it's time to, well, assemble the Avengers. Kicking things off, we've got Avengers #1. Restarting Avengers in the wake of Jason Aaron's recently concluded run. Simply put, the Avengers managed to prevent the destruction of all reality in the God Quarry at the cost of Ghost Rider and eventually also the cost of the Starbrand. A lot of some of the big changes that occurred during Aaron's run were also undone, such as Echo is no longer hosting the Phoenix Force. So, apparently, Captain Marvel has been voted as the new Avengers chair, and so she's so now she has to build a new team. Now, it should be stated that Avengers the beginning of a new run on Avengers usually falls into the story generally falls into the category of that first issue. It's putting the team together. Rarely does an Avengers run, a new writer's run, begin with a team already in place. Sometimes, quite often, it's done in an Avenger, or maybe sometimes it'll be Cap, Iron Man, and Thor get together and say, okay, so who should we put? We need a new Avengers team, and who should we have on the team? Other times it'll be, well, like Jason Aaron's run. Oh, a thing has happened. Everyone and a handful of people come together and deal with it. And oh, hey, well, guess we're now the Avengers. Guess we're now Avengers. This is more the former than the latter, however. So yeah, Carol has been voted the Avengers chair. You saw the cover, and you see who she recruits. But the issue goes back and forth between approximately a week ago and the present. But she explains that the main reason she does what she does is her love of the planet Earth. But the Avengers have been called to Project Pegasus in upstate New York to deal with the threat. So, like I said, now we then flashback to 7 days ago as Carol recruits Tony. And Tony kind of asks if she's ready to get back to policing the world, and she explains that no, she's not. Adding that the Avengers aren't cops, or at least they shouldn't be. It doesn't work, and that just gets the Avengers into civil wars. She goes on to add that the Avengers are firefighters. They're the ones who fly into the blaze, whatever it is, because they're the ones who can, so they're the ones who have to. They save lives. That's it. That's the whole mission statement. But she brings in Tony in part also because he's her sponsor. As Carol, as much as like Tony Stark, Carol Danvers did have an alcohol problem. Anyways, the threat that they're going up against, like Project Pegasus, is Terminus, accompanied by his Termini, which are smaller drone forms. So, alien cybernetic organism, practically immortal, pseudo-nanic spores, and they just keep regrowing him every time he's defeated. So, after recruiting Tony Stark, Carol recruits Guess your next Avenger. Thor. Who says he was never out. He was an Avenger at the beginning, and he will be an Avenger at the end of everything. And Carol asks if it's because our brief Mayfly lives in the face of his immortality stirs something in him. And he kind of is like, yes. Next, Black Panther. Adding that even with the events of Black Panther's recently completed John Ridley run on Black Panther, well, he never stopped being an Avenger. Then after Black Panther, Captain America, showing up at the gym in the Lower East Side to recruit him. Though at first she's a little coy about which Captain America she's talking to, as both Steve and Sam are there, and in fact sparring with one another. But she explains that it's Sam that she needs. Or rather, Sam that she wants. But, she goes on to add that she's got a billionaire super genius, a former king, a king of gods, and herself, an alien hybrid boss of space. Obviously, she needs a Captain America. But more than that, she needs a normal person. And war hero, man out of time, living legend Steve Rogers isn't that. However, Sam Wilson, social worker, is the closest that she has to that. The Avengers aren't gods, and they can't afford to act like they are. And to remind us of that, they need a grounded perspective, which is where Sam comes in. Now, admittedly, at least there have been a few deities to be Avengers. Thor, Ares. It can be argued also that there have been demigods that were members of the Avengers. That, well, yeah, they can be argued as being gods as well. But the fight against Terminus is going. Cap and Black Panther are forced to put aside their recent differences from the first half dozen or so issues of Captain America: Symbol of Truth. Then comes the Vision, who is questioning things about himself. Apparently during Judgment Day, when everyone on the planet was judged, the Vision wasn't. And he has to wonder, despite everything he's done to, prove his, basically to prove his personhood, as it were. Space God basically said, didn't deem him worthy of judgment. But Carol explains it. Just says that some Frankenstein space god didn't make Vision relive all his good and bad decisions. When did the Vision ever care about what gods thought? The Vision, who, unlike the rest of the Avengers, actually met his creator and told him to go to hell. But I'll say this: Carol's pretty good at the pep talk. In the fight with Terminus, it's explained what Terminus is after. A potential energy source, which is an artificial black hole reactor. And, well, the fight has damaged the casing. After recruiting Vision, Carol travels to Lockhill, New York, to the Emporium, where she, with the intention of asking Scarlet Witch to join the Avengers, and well, Wanda already realizes what's up and says, "Yeah, I'm in." And which is good because she's going to be needed, because her hex powers are necessary to, well, prevent the artificial black hole reactor from, exploding and pretty much destroying, everything. But Carol's flying the reactor out, tells Wanda to cast a spell, Wanda casts it, and finds herself elsewhere. At the deathbed of Kang the Conqueror, who has a warning for the Avengers, or at least for Carol, presumably the Avengers. And that is where the issue ends. So it has been stated that the story of last year's Timeless one-shot serves as a precursor to this run on Avengers, basically dealing with the missing moment and the tribulation events. So. And it should be noted that Jed McKay wrote that, so yeah. I like that was a strong first issue. Over the course of the last few years or so, I've become quite the fan of Jed McKay's work, in part due to his Black Cat runs, and his run on Boom's Magic the Gathering series, and his ongoing run at the moment on Moon Knight. What I really like about this issue, with keeping all that in mind, is this feels like it's something completely different from all of those. McKay does a great job at injecting humor into, especially the superhero titles he's written. In fact, his Taskmaster miniseries a couple years ago was an excellent example of that. Same with his Black Cat comics. So, and while there are lighthearted moments in Avengers, they're more subtle. Little things like the point of writing in a pause at Thor saying, agreeing with Carol's statement of the mayfly lives of the Avengers stirring something in him. But like I said, it hits in a different way, and yeah. So I'm looking forward to seeing just how the series continues, and potentially end up seeing what the missing moment is. Moving on, though, to our next book, we've got Captain America: Sentinel of Liberty, number 12. Where we left off in Cold War, the Captains of America, as well as Misty Knight and Sharon Carter, were dealing with a pitched battle between the monsters of Dimension Z and the Outer Circle's Tithe. Meanwhile, the Black Widow had managed to infiltrate Bucky's operation and had him at knife point. So Steve, Sam, Missy, and Sharon plan their next move, both pretty much all really, yeah, they're gonna have to venture into Dimension Z. Members of the Outer Circle discuss things. The power and the money appear to be consolidating forces against the revolution. In Dimension Z, Black Widow and Winter Soldier have a brief fight, a brief scuffle, which results in Bucky managing to disarm Natasha and have her at knife point. Stating that Bucky states that the world's made of a different person. Though Natasha states that she's said those words. She knows the lie in them. We're never different people. We change our clothes, our hair, our fancy metal arms. We do that, not the world. We control who we become. But she is also given. He does explain, hey, look, stay here, keep an eye on me. If it looks like things are like this necessary, take me down. We also have a flashback of nomads to Captain America's time in Dimension Z when Steve was raising Ian, telling him about the world Steve's from. But our heroes make it into Dimension Z, but place looks a bit nutty. Some things about Dimension Z are that time moves much faster. I think it's something like a day in the real world would be like an entire year in Dimension Z. But Winter Soldier and White Wolf have a difference of opinion on next moves, and some of the crystals that make up Dimension Z cause a reaction with with a Dimension Z, partially Dimension Z based weapon that Sharon Carter's got, leading to a small explosion. That is where the issue ends. This crossover is definitely getting good. Apparently, we are getting next. I guess part 4 will be the inevitable Cap versus Cap issue. But I kind of like the proposal that Bucky made to Black Widow. But kind of hey, okay, stay here, keep an eye on me. If it looks like I've gone too far, by all means, put me down. But yeah, moving on to our next book, we've got She-Hulk number 13. Where we left off, Jack of Hearts had returned, though he was still kind of distant because of being cautious about his radiation absorption powers, where Jen's concerned. Meanwhile, Jen has been working with the Fantastic Four and has come up as butted heads with the thief and called himself the Scoundrel. A rather flirtatious thief who called himself the Scoundrel. So, the issue begins with She-Hulk having coffee with Patsy Walker, Hellcat. Patsy asks about Jack. Jen tells what's going on with Jack, but Patsy kind of stops and asks if Jen's seeing someone else. She thinks about it and kind of, am I? Apparently, Scoundrel stated that he's stealing things anymore just in the hopes of seeing her. While they're having coffee, a man walked by the coffee shop. Nice three-piece suit. Appears to be Scoundrel. Jen tracks him down, and yes, it is, but he wants to go. Yeah, he asks for a timeout on things and to talk. Basically expressing an interest in her, and but he even asks, why didn't she bring Hellcat with her? But apparently, with his work soon coming to an end, well, he won't be able to see Jen anymore, and so he's wanting things. He's wanting to have a more than just antagonistic hero and villain relationship. But yeah, she's not down. But he also has a ship waiting to pick him up if need be. Jen goes back to work. Full waiting room. Rocket Racer, White Rabbit, 8-Ball, Jessica Drew, and Vulture. She goes in and she changes clothes and doesn't expect anybody to send anyone but Rocket Racer next. Oh, also Wong is there. But she has to do some negotiating with her boss, Mallory Book. And that night, upon returning home, Jack of Hearts is there. Apparently, he spent the day in the Bikini Atoll, absorbing radiation. There's so much there. Jen makes some dinner. Apparently, Jack Jack missed class again. He kind of figures he misses his chance to be a college student. He's too old and weird. Though Jen says he's not weird, and well, Jen's willing to give him quirky, but she suggests that since he's shooting the radiation to the sun, perhaps he should go do that before he throws a mushroom cloud in her living room. And that is where the issue ends. Things are getting interesting. It was kind of clear that Scoundrel was very definitely flirting with She-Hulk in his previous run-ins with her. It will be interesting to see more of how things play out in that dynamic, as well as things with Jack and Jen. Though I have to admit, I don't see things with Jack of Hearts and Jen going well. Overall, at least. Moving on, though, to our last book, we've got Bloodline, Daughter of Blade, number 4. I can words. Where we left off, while Blade was training his daughter Brielle, Blade's vampiric father, Deacon Frost, kidnapped Brielle's mother. But it was also stated in the last issue that Blade has a gift for Brielle, a trench coat. Included in there is a version of the serum that, a modified version of the serum that he uses, explaining, if she feels the bloodlust start to come on, inject one of them. And she asks if she can hug him, and because it feels like a hugging moment, and it's kind of stand there for a moment, and Blade gives her a one-armed hug. But they go in the house, and it's trashed. Not broken plate. Her mom's purse is on the floor. Yeah. Blade suggests that she stay with some friends for, but that he will get her mother back. She sets up things with one of her friends from school, but Whitney also pops up talking trash because, well, yeah. In the bathroom, Brielle slips into a stall and calls her mom. But, interestingly enough, she hears her mom's voicemail go off. Whitney has her mom's phone. Two of them have a fight in the bathroom, and initially, Brielle has the upper hand, then Whitney does, and back to Brielle when administrative people come in, and she's taken to the office, and Brielle is suspended. That night, at one of the local cemeteries, Blade is dealing with various vampires when he runs into Deacon Frost. Though Blade notes that it's not actually Frost, it's one of his clones. And Frost says that since he's met part of Blade's family, it's only fair that Blade meets some of his, vampire and human alike. Cops show up at the school. Brielle leaves and goes to her sleepover. Blade has been kidnapped by Deacon Frost. Apparently, they're performing a ritual to be able to, exist in the day. But Blade's blood isn't going to cut it. So the plan is, well, maybe you just have to go with Brielle's blood instead, which allows Brielle's mom to get Saffron to get free. Frost has his he's wait to give Saffron a head start, and the issue ends with Brielle and her friends facing headlights. I don't know who, when having their hands up. And that, as I said, that is where the issue ends. I'm enjoying this book so far. I think the next issues are the series finale, so I'm looking forward to seeing how it all wraps up. Anyways, that is going to do it for now. A very special thank you to Patreon patron Xander Lee. Thank you for your support. And as always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, PayPal, as well as the giveaway launch video will be in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off saying, live long and rock hard.